in engineering courses that they've been developing, an intermediate 1 and intermediate 2 level, so I was on the design team for that, and we were helping ensure that the Skills for Work courses would produce young people with the skills that employers needed. So there's a large element of employability in the Skills for Work and engineering courses, but we're also trying to make them as exciting as possible, to try and ensure that young people realise how exciting engineering can be as a career. I also work with the Women's Engineering Society to try and encourage women into engineering, because I am an engineer myself, electronics engineer. I used to work in IBM, and really would like to try and get a better gender balance in engineering between male and females. Currently there's about 7% of young girls go into engineering courses at university, but that obviously could be a lot higher. The new Skills for Work programmes in engineering will be a good introduction for young people into, say, a modern apprenticeship, because they will give them an idea of the kind of skills that they would learn on their first 6 months in a modern apprenticeship and foundation. There's sort of 3 units at the beginning of the courses, which allows them to do joining and measurement activities, all the types of things that they would do when they were learning their trade in a modern apprenticeship. But the other thing that's good about the courses is there's a project activity at the end of them, so they will actually make, design, build something that they can then take away and will give them a bit of enthusiasm. Increasingly these days, employers are looking for attitudes of young people, not just their technical abilities, but they want the correct attitudes from young people. Employability skills that they'll learn on the Skills for Work courses are things like timekeeping, attendance, being able to take instruction, being able to follow orders, health and safety controls that the pupils will have to go through when they're doing the courses. These are all the kinds of things that employers really like young people to see. And the good thing about the Skills for Work course is there'll be an evaluation part of the employability, so the young people are asked to look at their own skills and how they are progressing in the employability issues, which is maybe something that they've never done before in schools. The self-evaluation part of the Skills for Work course will be very important. One of the other colleges that I've been working with is Banff-and-Buchan College, and they've just started the Skills for Work in Energy course. And they've taken on only girls to do that course just recently, and they've found it very successful.
David Cook will now outline the new course for 2008-2009, the Skills for Work Energy course.
Because we've been working for Skills for Work in the school, we've had the engineering course running, which has had 100% male take-up, and we've found it very difficult to actually get girls involved. So when the new energy course came along, I spoke to the school, and they were quite happy to get a gender bias by having a girls' course and a boys' course. So we advertised it as a girls-only course just to see if we would get applicants. Fortunately, we did get applicants for it, and they seem to be quite happy to apply for a girls' course where they're not actually competing with boys in the classroom. So we're trying a different model. As soon as we started doing that, one of our industrial partners offered to sponsor this course. So we're actually going to deliver it electronically, which has made it more interesting for the girls and caused quite a buzz in the school. Schlumberger, who are the sponsoring company for Turriff, who are actually coming in and have given out the laptops, which are the first part of the relationship between the company and the school and the college. So it's joining everything together. So that's the college, the company and the school working very closely together, and that's what makes the programmes a success.
Dylan Thomas from Schlumberger and Claire Jones, a borehole geophysicist with Schlumberger Data Consulting Services, talk about recruitment policy and why their company got involved with the energy course.
We were approached by Banff-and-Buchan College with the idea of bringing engineering to an entirely female audience at quite a young age. And it was something that we found quite interesting because although we're doing the Next Step programme as well as the engineering competition and reaching down into schools and speaking to young children about engineering, we're still underrepresented in terms of female diversity. So we thought this was a really good idea and a great way to get involved and engage young females into engineering at quite a young age and show them some of the opportunities that are there.
I think it's really good for young women to be encouraged into science and engineering. As for me, it was just a personal choice to go down that route, but there was no real encouragement to get into this. And if you target these women young, there'll be plenty of opportunities for them in the future. Some courses in university and colleges in science and engineering, mainly the engineering side, the figures were about 18% women enrolling on the courses. So Schlumberger are very proud of the fact that in some areas we have diversity of up to 40% women. And obviously if we get these figures up in British universities and colleges, we can obviously recruit more and give them more opportunities in the workplace.
A Skills for Work school perspective is now outlined by Turriff Academy Deputy Head Teacher Brian Anderson. What are the benefits to the school of being involved?
We have very long-standing links with Fraserburgh College, Banff-and-Buchan College in Fraserburgh, and in the field of vocational education. As a curriculum for excellence was developed, we used that to lead into the development of skills for work courses in conjunction with the college again. A variety of those are delivered in school. We then also had links with them through the Schlumberger Engineering Challenge, which we were one of the pilot schools for that. Now, those two links led quite naturally into the involvement in the Engineering Skills for Work course and gave us an opportunity that we really couldn't pass up. I'd visited Schlumberger's facilities and the young female engineers there had particularly pointed out the opportunities available for young women in the engineering sector. So we just thought it was an opportunity too good to miss.
A realistic environment. How is this achieved and how often is it used by the pupils?
Well, really that's down to the lecturer from college that'll, the kind of experiences that will be provided there. But it was clear that it would involve a lot of industry links, a lot of visits to real life establishments, as well as working with real materials in school. Probably our greatest challenge was gender stereotyping, not just from the viewpoint of pupils, but also their parents. It's very difficult to break down the traditional barriers.
Do you feel that your pupils are better prepared for the world of work, or has their attitude to work changed?
I mean, our vocational links had proved earlier on that, it was a definite pathway into either further education sector or into apprenticeships or into work. Over the last year or so, we've also developed the employability skills more by looking at interview